Hey fam, how you guys doing? Lucian here, and welcome to this video. It is the 10th of March, and this is our update for this week. Now guys, there's a whole lot of fear in the market because some FUD has been spread, and at the end of the day, it kind of is not as bad as people make it to be. However, I will be sharing my chart and showing exactly what we are obviously looking at. So obviously there are always more or new people coming into the market, and when they hear the slightest of bad news, they think that the market is actually going to collapse. So they are obviously overreacting, and we see that the fear and greed meter that people are actually extremely fearful of getting into the market. However, those of us who have been here for a while know that this must be, and we actually use this to our advantage. And this is exactly why within the last few months, 24 to 18 months, we were able to make the kind of returns that we were making as because we understand the cycle of the market. So a whole lot of people do not understand this, and they see the slightest of bad news, and then they overreact. But I can understand. So they are obviously new to the industry. So it's almost like your wife gives you a call, and she tells you, you know what, honey, I've got some really bad news, and your mind starts to run. You're thinking, what happened? Did the kids get hurt? Did someone die, etc.? Only for her to actually tell you that, you know what? I know that you are tired of working, but can you please go around the supermarket to get us some milk? So obviously that's not bad news, and there's no reason for concern. So likewise, what's happening currently in the market, but we are happy that we actually are getting a better entry on all of the projects that we are investing into. So we are up way more than for the year than what Bitcoin obviously is down now. So let me share the chart so you can have a visual idea. So if you look at it in the short term, so let me zoom in. So this is what most people do. They zoom in, they see that, you know what, the market went from around about $25,000, and now Bitcoin is at $20,000. Now we may see even Bitcoin going to $18,000. However, if you zoom out, let me make the chart. So each, in fact, let me teach you a bit of some candles here. So all of these stripes, that is basically candles. So if I'm on the 1 hour chart, which means each of those candles equals 1 hour. So let us zoom out and let's put it on the 4 hour. So now we can see a bigger time frame. And then we can obviously move out and see an even bigger time frame where each candle represents 1 day. So now we can basically have a better idea of what the market is actually doing. So this is where we are at this point of time, and this had to obviously happen because at the end of the day, we would go up, we would come back and retest the support. So in fact, let me bring you up some horizontal lines. So let me do a bit of coaching here. I do not want to be too technical, but I obviously want you to learn from this. Okay, so the market moves in cycles. So when we went up from here to there, so those in the coaching program obviously have more access to the information that I'm sharing now in terms of trading. So the market went up to here. This, we call this a resistance line because this is where people tend to sell, and this is support because people tend to buy here. So this is support right here. So I don't believe that we are going to go much lower than this. If we are going to go lower, lowest I believe we are actually going to get to the $15,000 line. And that is when there's extreme fear in the market. I highly don't expect it to go there, but that's the worst case scenario. So that's like 20% from where we are at this point of time. However, at the upside, it is inevitable for us to obviously go back and then maybe get rejection here once again, because as you can see here, that will once again be a resistance. So we may go to there and then get some resistance there and then get support here once again. And obviously I share with it in detail to those obviously in the coaching program. So, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So it is inevitable for us to actually be going back here. And this is, if we look at the percentage in terms of Bitcoin from where we are now. So Bitcoin should give us at least 238%. However, the projects that we are invested into, if Bitcoin just goes up by 20%, our projects generally goes up way bigger percentage, because the market is bullish, and because Bitcoin is so mature, the projects that we are in is obviously a bit smaller, and as a result we see bigger impacts. But luckily the projects that we have invested into, such as Houdini for this year, even though the market is down, it is still up. Now it would also be a good time for you to maybe stock up on Ripple XRP. So obviously you don't want to put the whole bank on it, but at the end of the day, you can see that Bitcoin for the last 7 days, it's down like almost 15%. Likewise with Ethereum, because whatever Bitcoin does, the other altcoins does the same. So you can see there the chart went down. So the charts almost all look the same. Obviously this is a stable coin, so they don't move. They are actually, they stay around about $1 US. So that's Tether USD. BNB, it's also a bit stronger than the general market, because we see that BNB is only down almost 10% when others are down 12, etc. But look at the Ripple, because there's good news in the market about the Ripple. We see that Ripple only lost 2% of its value, and I believe that when Bitcoin reaches its support, right here, then Ripple may give us even like a 50% in terms of growth. So 20% is from Ripple in the short term is more than likely to actually happen. So obviously, if we look at the different charts, they follow Bitcoin. And because the market is where it is at this point of time, it is at its lowest based on what we have seen for the month. For the last 2 months. It's actually the best time to actually be purchasing at this point of time. So this is where the newbies, they actually are fearful, but those of us who have been in the market for a while and who understand the cycles knows that this is the time to actually be buying. I always refer to this. Ladies know when do they go and buy food? When it is cheaper. So at this point of time, cryptos are cheaper, so you need to find the right ones. So when the market goes up and everyone is making huge gains and everyone is sharing on Twitter, Facebook, etc., that is the time when we are taking profit. That is why we were able to take almost 600% profit on our project for last month. And when everyone was raving about it, they were buying and we were selling at that point of time. Ladies knows that you don't go and buy when things are more expensive. Like for instance, Easter time, when fish is more expensive, they would buy it before, because then the demand isn't so high. Or in December, they would buy their vegetables, or like everything goes up in December, so they would stock up before December. So you don't want to follow the general market, and that is why we are able to outsmart the market, because we have been in this for a while. Some of you are new, but you can obviously leverage our knowledge and our experience within the market. So at this point of time, yes, projects are down like 20%, but what is 20% when we are up 600% on our projects? So yes, that is basically what I would like to share with you, and just want to once again point out to you, because this is a time when the professionals stock up, and this is the time when the newbies, they are actually selling their bags. You don't want to be the person to buy something for $1 and then sell it for 80 cents, because I mean, it doesn't make business sense. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on my next video. Thanks so much.